I often get a question from potential clients or even friends. Say, why would I hire a property manager? What's the drawback of doing it myself? Well, there are quite a few drawbacks. Property management, say 20 years ago, it was a lot less complicated. You could write a lease out on a pad of paper and it would be legally enforceable. You could just do things that you think are right, and for the most part, you would get by okay. You could screen by just getting a feel from the people that you meet and just doing some checking around, maybe make a few phone calls. You'd be in pretty good shape. But things have changed over the last 20 years. It's no longer like that. It's gotten very complicated. And I find that the majority of homeowners that are considering renting out their properties themselves, they just don't have the resources and the experience to handle all of the different things that come at you as a landlord in California. San Diego in particular has a lot of local laws. Laws, that's a big one. Knowing the laws, how to protect yourself and your property, what you need to do to respect the rights and responsibilities of being a landlord in California, how to protect the rights of your tenant. There's a variety of different things that change every year, and you are required to be on top of it all. As the property owner, you're responsible for a variety of different things. And knowing the laws is an important part. That actually isn't the most difficult part that I see for landlords. The most difficult part I see is keeping it business. I've found quite a few landlords managing the property themselves have a difficult time keeping it strictly business with the tenant. They might even start off that way. Completely business, excellent. Over time though, they establish a personal relationship with the tenant. Just a little bit, and then from there on it gets worse and worse. And then a year later, you're 6 months behind on the rent and you're evicting this tenant who has become your friend. It's a really bad situation. But also making business decisions when it comes to raising the rent, when it comes to maintenance on the property, making upgrades, changing the due date, adding additional occupants, adding dogs, pets, the lease, all of these different things. I see landlords that are doing it themselves, not putting business as the first in their business relationship with the tenant. Another big mistake that landlords make doing it themselves is not properly screening the tenants. It really helps now to have the internet. You have a lot more resources than we did 20 years ago, so you can check somebody out online. But there's a variety of different sites that most people aren't aware of. For instance, if the tenant's from San Diego, there's a court records site that you can look up. But I still find the credit report to be the most important part of screening a tenant. But it isn't a credit score. It is actually evaluating all aspects of the credit, reading the entire credit report. Effectively screening means that you'll get a good quality tenant that pays the rent on time and takes care of your property. Poor screening, well, it leads to the opposite of all that. And that's often what happens with the do-it-yourself. Self-management, oftentimes people make a decision based on a gut instinct or a feeling. Now, gut instincts and feelings are important, but you have to back it up with a credit report, with references, with solid, verifiable income. These are the types of things that are really important to ensure that you're actually properly screening and getting a quality tenant in your property. It can be a nightmare to get a bad tenant out of your property. Something as simple as when the tenant moves out. If you don't know the laws, there's a requirement that the deposit has to be sent out within 21 days. But first you have to offer a pre-move-out inspection. And if you don't offer the pre-move-out inspection, technically you can't even charge them from their deposit for damages at the property. In addition, if you don't send out the deposit within 21 days, you may be subject to punitive damages from the court up to double the amount of their deposit, plus a full refund of their deposit. They could leave broken doors, broken holes in the walls, broken windows, damaged flooring, and then you have to give all that money back because you didn't follow the rules. Judges are very particular and very strict with landlords in California. So these are just a few of the areas that I see a benefit in having a professional handle your property rather than trying to do it yourself. I think that you could save yourself a lot of time and a lot of money in the long run.